treatment.
Yes, now someone else using his creative voice is Edgardo Miranda-Rodriguez. He's using his creative voice to shed pop culture light to an often overlooked group.
Now his new comic called La Borinqueña gives his homeland of Puerto Rico a superhero they can love who's fighting the issues that matter to them the most.
I first started reading comic books when I was around maybe like 5 or 6. My older brother Axel first introduced me to the Amazing Spider-Man. He was a conduit to introduce a lot of new characters to me, like the White Tiger, which was Marvel's first Puerto Rican superhero created by fellow New Yorican George Perez. When I had the opportunity to write for Marvel for my debut as a writer, they assigned me a story for Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually wrote it richly steeped in Taino mythology of Puerto Rico, and when that book came out, I had no idea what to expect from it. A selfie that I had of myself holding my comic book turned into a viral sensation not only here in the US, but even in Puerto Rico. That was one of the main things that showed me there's actually readers out there that want more representation. La Borinqueña came to me around the time when the governor of Puerto Rico was announcing that there was no way the $70 billion of debt was going to be paid off. There was a serious crisis on the island that needed national attention, if not international attention. I thought to myself, if I created a character that represented what it feels like to be a New Yorican, reconnecting with their heritage, perhaps through that very same narrative, I could actually begin to address on a larger scale what's happening in Puerto Rico. It led me to meet and work with George Perez, my favorite artist of all time. He's just an amazing storyteller. From creating close to 60 plus characters for DC and Marvel, and he was fascinated by the character, fascinated with the costume design, loving the fact that it was asymmetrical, jokingly telling me that he always drew Wonder Woman as a Puerto Rican when he was drawing her, and humbly offering himself to draw the cover of my second issue. That's when it resonated for me that this was a project bigger than me. It also has opened itself up to go beyond comic books. Working with the Tats crew is something that I never would have thought of. They're literally like the super friends, the iconic team of graffiti artists.
My name is Bai. I'm one of the members of Tats Crew. We've been painting here in New York City for the past 37 years. The first mural we did for La Borinqueña was in Bushwick, Brooklyn. This is the second time, but we're doing it here in the Bronx, which is our hometown, and this is a very heavy Puerto Rican populated community. La Borinqueña is a comic book hero, but I think she means so much more to, the Puerto Rican community. She's addressing issues like environmental issues, whatever problems facing Puerto Rico, and I think Edgardo hit it spot on with a superhero, because that's what Puerto Rico needs right now, La Borinqueña.
I wanted to create a mural that really was a larger-than-life comic book. I grounded the mural not only with some of the mythology and origin from the comic book, but with some of the realistic heroes that exist in our life today. So it starts with La Borinqueña and it ends with Sonia Sotomayor. I'm humbled to be a vessel, or rather a conduit, where I could bring my culture to not only ourselves, but to the world.
Nadeska, it's definitely dope to see all different cultures being represented in this industry, specifically the comic book industry.
Especially when you do it for the kids, right?
Yeah.